everybody, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Violet.
And I'm Ruby.
So today we're talking about asking for Trobils, the deluxe version, which comes with this big mouth. And here's the back of the box, which also looks cool. Did you see that?
Looks like the back of a computer.
Oh, you mean my computer? Yeah, that does make sense.
I was talking about Violet's, but okay.
Okay, so now I played Asking for Trobils with my two oldest children, Melody and Amy, years ago. And now I'm playing it with these two. So I've already reviewed Asking for Trobils. So if you want to see how that game works, click on the link in the description. Here, I'm just going to find out what these two think of the game. And we're also going to talk about the two expansions. There's Asking for Trobils Companions and Asking for Trobils Troublemakers. So let's talk about how those two expansions work, and we'll be right back. So this expansion adds another whole board, really kind of unnecessary board, but this board has a new space that when you put your ship here, you take the action and immediately get the ship back because you can't stay there, you don't get bumped off. So this is important because these are the companions that you get. When you go here, you can take one of these pairs, although if you don't take the first pair, you have to drop some sort of resource off on each pair that you don't take, which is a cool mechanism in many games. In this one, it's kind of like, what? Why? It just feels like an extra thing for no reason. But once you take the pair, you'll take that pair and you're going to put them in your board here. You're going to put the companion here and you're going to put their matching shard card like this. You're then going to point the arrow here to quirk number 1. So there's a lot of different companions in the game. Every single companion in this game, as far as I can tell, is some sort of, parody of something. So this is Marty McBee, right? Anyhow. So now you have a new negative effect. So here, for example, you cannot gain ore from the Nye asteroid belt location. Well, why would you do this? That's because Marvin McBee here has the special ability that when he visits the main planet, he can spend money to get shards. And so this is a new resource that's in the game that's only used here, and each time you get a shard, you'll place it from the bottom to the top on these shard spaces. If you only did one shard here, once you have a section completely done, you move to the next quirk. The next quirk says, when you gain ore, get one less. And then the last one here, you may not gain ore for any reason. However, at any point, you can take the alien to the drop-off point. And this shows here the exploding planet, the mining planets, where you would go drop them off. If you drop them off, you're going to get all the shards you put on the card. So you get to keep these shards then. And if you have a row completely filled, you get the bonus. So this gives you a shard. This one here gives you 3 points. Points is now another thing that's included with this that you can get from taking these shards. Now that's Marvin McBee. Let me show you another one here. Here's Lepton here. And you can see that Lepton has a whole lot more shards on his card. But if you fill the bottom row, you get another companion. The second row, you get 2 traps and 3 victory points. But here you have to go to this spot, and then you would spend your ore for things. But here, you can't gain credits from the Smash Rock location. When you gain credits, gain 1 less. You may not gain riffraff cards from the Smash Rock location. Most of these aliens do something bad. Now, they're matched up. Now, at any time, you can just jettison them. You don't get anything from them, but they might be a pain in your neck. And occasionally you'll find one that says you can't go to the location that it shows on this card, which I think should not be allowed. Like if he says, for example, some of them say you can no longer go, like for example, Amelia Brooke, you can no longer go to the wormhole location. Should not be matched up with one where she has to be dropped at the wormhole location. That's just kind of silliness. But there's a ton of these in the deck. And some of them are considered to be more complicated, more chaotic. Like this, when you put slugs on this card, and whenever you're bumped, you give someone one of those slugs. So you have AD, Jet and Onyx, Dr. Exalman, Zilk, and all of them do various things. And there's all kinds of cards you can match them up with. So that's pretty much what this expansion adds. This is the Companions expansion. But before I finish talking about the Companions expansion, I should mention it also replaces the Trouble deck with a completely new deck. That's the whole point of these shards, is because many of the Troubles, instead of paying 3 carrots a trap, 2 ore, and 2 slugs, I can pay 3 shards. And there are even a few Trobils that are in the deck that only take shards, but shards is always a much cheaper way to buy the different, or to get rid of the different Trobils. So that's kind of the point of this. That's why you want to get those shards, so that you can stop the aliens. I mean, do you want to spend a mega trap, 2 traps, 3 slugs, and 2 carrots, or 4 shards? 4 shards, much easier. The asking for troublemakers, this expansion here adds, well, some robots. So there you have a bag full of these little robots, and whenever you pull ships off the board, which as you know is a lot, you will pull 1 token from this bag every time you pull for each ship. You look at the back and it tells you where that creature goes. So you're going to put that creature over on that spot on the board. You also notice that each of these spots on the board, except for over here, has a little deck of cards that goes with them. And that's because when you go to a spot that has these little robots at it, you can spend the orange crystals for each one that's there, and you can rescue one or capture one or whatever you're doing to them. You then keep these in front of you. But whenever you do that, you also get to draw the top card of this deck and get it. And these cards are all sorts of things. Keep this. It's scoring at the end of the game. This one is 1 point. This one's 2 points. This says you can spend it when bumping your own ship to save it from destruction. This one says spend this card now to get any available connection card. Add it to the nigh asteroid side of your ship. This one here becomes a connection, but it's a double or. So all the different spots have various things that you can get from them. Draw 2 riffraff cards. You can spend it when you go to Smash Rock and turn over your trouble cards, just like if you're visiting the Star RNG. Right now you get 2 resources of a kind. So that's one of the benefits of going there. But it adds another location that you can go to here. At this location, you can spend the little creatures that you have gotten. So these little Trobots here, as you collecting them, you can go here and turn them in groups. So let's say I have 3 of the same kind, like this right here. I could spend them to take the top card here, and these cards change based on the number of players, but usually they go down from like 8, 6, 5, 3, and I get that many points. I also get to take one of these tokens. Now what this token is you put it on top of the matching connection, and it turns it into a double connection. Although the rule book has some rules about you building them evenly. And that's what this expansion adds. It also adds another ship where you can play with another player, but seriously, 7 players? Okay, let's talk about the base game. Just the regular game. Putting out spaceships, pulling them back, getting resources, capturing Trobils, throwing them into the sun. What did you think?
Well, I like the concept of the game. I mean, the turns were normally fast. I was just very impatient.
Really? We didn't notice. That is the opposite of analysis
before his turn
paralysis.
started. Are you done?
Like I didn't even pick up my ship yet. But what did you like the idea of putting out a ship and then pulling it back and putting it out, pulling it back, and then you have 2 ships and bumping other people's ships? What did you think about that?
Annoying. Very annoying.
What do you mean?
Like, I get it, but at the same time, why?
Well, it makes it so that you want more ships.
True.
Yeah.
Still, why?
What did you think about the upgrading of the ship? Like adding the different things so that when you went to a location.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
right.
That was very handy, honestly.
I
I
love
barely
that.
used it though. I only got most of the upgrades because I kept going to the same spot where I got cards over and over again.
Yeah, like with one of the expansions, where you had to get crystals to get those, what are they called?
Oh, it was easier to get those upgrades?
Well, actually, I put a pirate on the crystal area and got an upgrade so that whenever we came to, like, the one with the most of them, I would get crystals there. So you had to suffer.
What did you think about the theme of the game? Capturing aliens and throwing them into the sun.
I didn't realize that we were actually capturing them until we threw them into the sun.
Oh, you thought we killed them?
No, I thought they were our friends.
Oh.
We were giving them stuff.
No, you were using.
yeah,
we
luring
were
them.
using traps. What do you think the traps were?
I forgot.
Well, why would we give them money?
I love how
Well, that's a good point. I don't know. Maybe you're buying them lunch and then you throw them in a box.
When you throw them into the sun just throws money back at you. Like, thank you for the aliens.
Well, maybe maybe you get the money from somewhere else. Okay, so I want to know just the base game here. What would you rank it?
Good. 8. probably.
An 8?
I'll also give it an 8. I like the game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. So it's 888 across the board for the game. But now let's talk about the expansion. So there's 2 expansions. First is the Troublemakers, where you're pulling robots out, putting them out, going to the spot, rescuing those robots, getting cards, using those cards, and then you turn in those robots to get those extra point cards. I didn't mention this in the overview, but when those point cards run out, the game also instantly ends. All right. So what do you think of that expansion?
It was fine.
I like the expansion. Honestly, why are you saying it's fine? You literally got so much out of it. You hoarded, this space with your stupid
I
pirate.
still lost, didn't I?
I don't remember. That's not the point. You hoarded the space with your pirate and kept collecting items from us because you refused to go there.
That's
You
true.
only gave it 3 when I collected it.
So here's the thing. With this expansion, first of all, it makes the orange resources, the orange crystals, more useful. Because they're not that useful in the original game. They're mostly used to get extra slugs. And so there's that.
Like, I think that was the least place in the entire thing.
I like the idea of going and rescuing them, turning them in for victory point cards, and upgrading an expansion ship from 1 icon to 2. Those cards are really cool. You get the top cards. They're all neat cards. But it was so fiddly. Every time you pull a ship back, you had to put one of these out. After a while, there's like 30 of them on the board.
Because no one's willing to go to the crystal just to get those
Well, you just don't have time to get them either.
Yeah. It just makes the game longer.
I think so. It adds time to the game. It's fine. Well, unless the point cards run out, that would actually make the game quicker. But it feels like it changes the game too much. I wish Orange Resources let you do things, but this almost makes them too powerful. That's why Ruby put a pirate there. Because it was a great place to put a pirate.
So it's basically forcing you to get an upgrade or, pay. Give me stuff.
Did you like this expansion?
I guess so. It was fine.
Well, I'm giving this expansion a 6. It's fine. It has some interesting things, but I felt pulling from that bag. We had to pull, especially when you're pulling back 3 ships. You put out 3 of them, but at the beginning of the game, you put out a ship, you pull a ship, you place a Trobot.
Yeah.
You do it, and it felt after a while. We're like, okay, everyone pass the bag around, put one out.
I'd probably give it a 7.5. I don't know. It didn't really change too much for me, except everyone was focusing on these more than the actual cards. But that was because we were playing with both of the expansions at once, and the cards were really hard to get.
I'd give it a 7. I didn't mind it, honestly. Like, pulling them out of the bag after each turn wasn't that big of a deal. Just put them on the board. It's simple. It's easy.
Like, it only felt annoying when you had to check.
And then you collect them, and you can turn them in for points. It's pretty easy and simple.
Okay. Well, then the other expansion, the Companions expansion, this one changes the game a lot because you'll have Trobils come out that the only way to do them is crystals, so you have to go to that spot to get these companions, and then the companion gives you this negative, really annoying thing that I felt like it was too much work. I give this expansion a 4. It makes the game longer, adds a lot of components, and didn't add a lot of fun for me. But what did you think?
It was boring. Like, because we were playing with both of them, everyone just forgot about this. I think each of us got, like, 1. Got bored of it really easily. Got a few cards for it, I guess.
Well, did you like the negative thing it says that you, like, you can't go to this location. You get 1 less of this.
Why would... No. Like,
it does make it easier to get the Trobils, because you get those crystals. They're really cheap then.
But those crystals are really annoying because... Like, I felt like the only one that was fine was the carrot one, because the only thing that was really bad about it was the last one where all of your resources are carrots. But by that point, you can just get rid of it.
What'd you think?
It was interesting, but, like, it was also really annoying. Like, collecting the crystals were hard enough on its own, and then they kept adding it, making it even harder to, like, get the stuff they needed.
Yeah,
So, honestly, it'd be better if you collected it all beforehand, then got them, and spent it all right away, got rid of them as fast as you could.
Honestly, if we hadn't played with both of these expansions, we probably would have been going on for at least another hour.
I agree. This expansion definitely lengthens the game out, and I just don't like it.
It's boring.
And honestly, I don't even need to play with the other expansion. The base game in this game is pretty good. It's fun, it's fast, it's a nice worker placement game. I get why they add expansions because money! But I'm okay with how it is. But there you go. That's asking for Trobils and the expansions. Glad you guys like the base game. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Violet.
And I'm Ruby.
Have fun catching aliens.